Network, KSAM Huntsville, your hometown.
Of the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to have all of you guys, and a big thank you as always to True Texas BBQ. And I wanted to start right out of the gate tonight. We have four wonderful folks back there working tonight: Miss Vivi, Tammy, Victor, and John. Let's give it up to them tonight. Thank them for slinging the barbecue. I had some turkey a while ago.
Good stuff, isn't it?
And I was about to fall asleep, but then I had some lemonade, and I'm wide awake. So, Brian, good to have you. Coach Southern, good to be here.
Thank you. Good to see y'all.
Well, as always, it's just a lot of fun. I want to encourage folks, come out and support the Hornets. We have this show every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m., and our drawing continues. We have 4 of these limited edition footballs that are signed every week by the players. If they haven't signed it, Coach's signature is on there. And I've asked Brian not to sign them because if Brian signs them, the value may go down. So we're going to keep – I'm just joking, Brian. But we're excited tonight. And also another guest in the house tonight. Let's give it up for Assistant Coach Del Real in the house. What's up, Coach?
Coach, how are you?
Good to have Coach here, too. See, when you show up, you get recognized, man. So thank you for being here, Coach, and all that he does. We're going to go ahead and hop right into it here in our first segment. As we look back to last week, it was another tough game. This one versus A&M Consolidated this past Friday in the 35-0 loss. It was the first time the Hornets were shut out since 2010 and the third loss in a row. But, you know, the good news is things are on the horizon, and we know that these kids are going to pull through it. So let's just give a round of applause to these kids. We know that they're going to pull out of this, and that's what we're here for in the community, to support our young players. Coach, we'll just dig right into it, though. Another tough loss in district play. Just kind of your overall thoughts on this one.
Well, probably the biggest thing is disappointment. You know, when you don't play well and you don't execute at the level that you feel like your team is capable of, you know, everybody feels bad about that, but it starts with us as coaches. It starts with me as a head coach. And, you know, we've got to do a better job of preparing. We've got to do a better job of coaching and executing. But at the same time, when we have opportunities, we've got to take advantage of them. And we didn't do that the other night. And against good football teams, you're going to have problems when you don't execute. And people are, you know, now they realize, okay, well, they're not the same as they were here, there, or whatever situation it is. So, you know, we're going to get people's best effort now. So disappointing is probably the biggest thing. I think our kids were disappointed in our performance. And, you know, when you get a little bit embarrassed and disappointed, you got to either pin your ears back and move forward, or you got to tuck your tail and run. And I don't think our kids are going to do that. I know our staff's not going to do that. And, you know, and we've talked a lot about this game, and we talked a lot about the prior week's game. When you lose a tough game in overtime, you know, don't let one game beat you 2 weeks in a row. And I don't think that's what happened. I think we just got in a situation where we didn't score, and they did, and we got out. At that point, we got outplayed, and that's disappointing. But at the same time, you know, and we've talked a lot about this as a staff, and I've even talked to my wife about this, about, you know, when you get your program in the situation that we're in now, where the expectation level is so high that you want for your kids, you know, you want them to score a touchdown every time they snap the ball, or you want to win every game by 40, and you know, sometimes that just doesn't happen. You know, you watch professional football, or I tell the kids, you watch Arkansas and Texas A&M. You know, they line up and Arkansas just wears them out, and then Arkansas gets throttled Saturday. So football's a tough game. You know, having success and then sustaining success is hard. And when you don't win, people start to question things, and kids, you know, they don't need all that. They need to be, number one, they need to be focused on what's next. But that's also a point where, you know, with a program and a program that you're proud of, the community's got to support the kids. It's not coaches. Don't worry about us. We're going to be fine. But kids need support, and they need to understand that, yeah, it's a game, and it's a tough game, but we represent this community, and we've got to do a better job. But at the same time, we've all got to stay together in this thing and keep pushing these kids and keep pushing them forward.
We were talking about that before we went on, and just the confidence factor and when the community rallies behind kids, and even us as adults, but especially kids, there's a lot of confidence that's built through that, Coach. What have you seen just in your years of coaching? I know you've been through droughts just like anybody else in a coach, and how do you kind of continue to work through that, and what do you tell the kids?
Well, big thing, we looked at a couple clips today in our kicking film, and we talked about body language and we talked about confidence. Because if I'm not confident in what I'm doing, then I can't do it at 100%, and I can't do it consistently successful. So I've got to be confident in whatever it is. If I'm throwing, catching, kicking, blocking, it doesn't matter what it is. And you're going to go through spells at times. And, it's not like the pros where we can go to free agency and, change out members or whatever. We've got to take what we've got, and we've got to make it better every week. But I think they saw something today in film, and I hope they did. I hope they understood it, that, nobody's going to feel sorry for you because you've beat some of these teams 27-0 or 40-0, and now your back's against the wall, and you got to go battle. And I think our kids will do that. I know they'll do it Friday night, and we've just got to continue to push and continue to give those kids the opportunity. And then when you make the play, the confidence level naturally goes up.
Coach, this is your 8th year here as the athletic director and head coach of the Hornets. And, you've raised the bar. You've turned the program completely around in that 8-year time frame. But here in the last 2-3 weeks, you've had a couple back-to-back losses. What did you tell your guys after last week's loss?
Well, I think disappointment was the number one thing. And the first thing I asked them, did we miss opportunities? And everybody to a man said yes. And so if you miss opportunities, well, you don't know what that opportunity is going to eventually do. If we throw and catch a ball and we get tackled on the 2-yard line and we score a touchdown, well, what does that do to the next drive? Or what does that do defensively to the next series? Or what does that do to the other coach when he's trying to figure and plan and call plays against us? Or if we make a stop defensively or block a field goal or a punt or whatever it is. But, when your kids are disappointed in their performance, then you got your program where you need it to be. Now the next thing is, how do you fix it? And sometimes it's coaching, sometimes it's playing, sometimes it's a combination of all those things. And I'm going to always stand up and say, hey, it's me, and it's me down, and because I'm going to defend these kids whether we win another game or not, because I know what they do every day. They were there Saturday morning, they worked out, they were there Monday morning at 7:15, they were there this morning at 7:15, so I know what they're doing on a daily basis, but I also understand what it feels like when you get kicked in the teeth, and there ain't a whole lot you can do about it, because that one's over. Now you got to move on.
Coach, just last question. You've talked about a lot as we look back in last week's loss. Just kind of your final thoughts to wrap up this first segment.
Well, I think, again, we missed some opportunities, and then we didn't make enough plays as a team collectively. It wasn't enough offensive plays or defensive plays or even special teams plays. Collectively, when you don't make enough plays against a good team, A&M has been consistent, probably one of the most consistent programs in this area for years. And if you don't make enough plays, they're going to beat you. And you have to figure that out. You have to also understand that and continue to move forward.
Well, Coach, this will wrap up our first segment as we look back in that game. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. We'll look ahead. That's what we like to do, is we'll look ahead coming up this Friday. It's senior night coming up here in Huntsville, Texas, so it's a great opportunity for the community to come out and support the seniors and the football team. But for now, though, we'll step aside, we'll take a brief break, and when we come back, we'll look ahead to this week's matchup. Stay with us live from True Texas BBQ. This is the Hornet Nation Coaches Show.
True Texas BBQ, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas BBQ inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, including Kubota L-Series compact tractors, part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability, Z-Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 84 months, plus save up to $1,400. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Stop into Huntsville Truck and Tractor today, conveniently located at 2124 Highway 30 East in Huntsville, or call us at 936-291-8103.
The holidays are right around the corner, and if you haven't planned your holiday events yet, the time is now. Whether your event is for 10 or 200, Magnolia Lake has options that are perfect. From a formal dinner and dance to a casual barbecue, you'll find options that are perfect. Whether for a company or a family, Magnolia Lake can handle it. Plus, Magnolia Lake handles your setup and makes it as easy on you as possible. The holidays are on the way, and Magnolia Lake is ready to help. Call today to reserve your date. Magnolia Lake, the perfect place to celebrate every occasion.
All right, friends, welcome back as we are live here from True Texas BBQ. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, well, thank y'all for coming out here. And again, just wanted to let all of our guests know, of course, we do have that drawing going on for our limited footballs. So make sure that you fill out the entry form every week that you come. It's another opportunity for you to win when we draw all 4 of them, or 3 of them actually, at the end of the season. So make sure that you come out and support the Hornets. We'll look ahead here in this segment. The Hornets back at home for senior night at Bowers, hosting Lamar Consolidated. The Mustangs 1-4. They're 0-1 in district play. Going back to Lamar, they lost 49-3 versus A&M Consolidated back on September the 25th. They're coming off of a bye week last week. Coach, we'll dig right into this segment. Kind of preparation heading into this ball game after last week.
Well, I thought our prep's been really good, especially today. I thought that was probably the best day of the week. But the big thing, you know, when you have a team coming off of an open date, you know they've got some time, extra time to work on you, and also to work on things that, you know, like I told them today, I said they're going to do something that we haven't prepared for because they've had a whole extra week to practice against us. But the big thing with them is you got to stop their quarterback. He's probably he's listed at 6'4", 220. I don't know if he's that big or not, but he's a tremendous athlete. He's not afraid at any point in time to pull the ball down and take off running. You know, he ran a good bit against us a year ago, and you know we had opportunities last year to hit him a little bit more. But and then we got on the other side of the ball, we got to put the ball in the end zone. You know, we've made a lot of plays, but we haven't consistently driven the ball down the field and then stuck it in the end zone in a while. And we've got to do a much better job there. Special teams is going to be a little unique because they do a couple things in the kicking game that create problems for you. But we've prepared for all that. And then we've got to handle whatever the thing that they are working on that we haven't prepared for. We've got to be able to handle that and manage it and then continue to move forward.
Coach, would you tell the team this week on some of the things they need to work on in preparation for Friday's ball game?
Well, execution's probably the biggest thing. You know, the plays and the things that we're doing, we're not going to wholesale change everything we do. Offensively, we got to throw and catch, and we've got to be able to run the ball effectively. Defensively, I thought we missed tackles, and keeping a running back or a quarterback, in this case, a lot of times, contained and being able to rally and get him on the ground. And then with a guy like this, you also got to, you know, when you are rushing him, you can't give him rush lanes, because if you give him rush lanes, now he's into your secondary, and he's a big athletic guy, and you don't want to give him that opportunity. So a lot of it's technique, a lot of it's the little things, and just continue to get better because we've got what we've got. You know, we've talked about that. These are the guys, and we got to go win with them, and they got to understand that.
Coach, we've talked about this time and time again this season, just with a relatively young squad this year. How have those guys continued to mature and grow, even, you know, in situations like last week or over the last 3 games? How has that kind of helped some of these younger guys to really say, hey, this is the real deal, we're here to play? How has that helped them to kind of grow and mature a little bit?
Well, I think you can go back and look at, a year ago, we sat here for 12 straight weeks and won every game, or 11 of the 12 weeks. And, you get kind of, I don't want to say spoiled, but you do get spoiled. And then all of a sudden you run into some adversity and you've got to respond. And, I learned years ago as a coach, you can react to situations, and normally when you react, you're going to be wrong probably 95% of the time. Or you can step back and really evaluate the situation and say, okay, what do we have to do to get better? You got to go back to technique. You got to go back to individual drills. And we do that every week, and we did it probably 5 to 15 more minutes this week than what we would normally do because you got to block and tackle. This is still a pretty simple game. Now, when you get caught up in a situation like the other night where you're behind, now you're having to do things you're not consistently having to do, trying to throw the ball too much or whatever the circumstances might be. So, we've had 3 good days of practice, and I think they'll play well Friday night.
We're talking to head coach Rodney Southern here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. You mentioned on the Lamar Consolidated side of the ball, just their quarterback was one to watch out for as far as positions go. Any other players or things we should look for on that side of the ball?
Well, number 5 is a guy that they've kind of moved around and played him 2 or 3 different places. He's a kick returner as well, probably the second or third best athlete on their team. The quarterback, I think, is by far the best athlete on their football team. And they won their first game, and they've been pretty inconsistent since then. But inconsistency sometimes when you have an extra week to prep and get ready for, there are things that, again, we can't prepare for because we don't know what they are. So, but those 2 guys, to me, offensively, are the 2 guys that you say we've got to take care of. Defensively, there's really not a true standout guy as much as, they haven't played bad defensively. They're just at times they get themselves out of position. And, obviously against A&M, you get out of position, you're going to give up big plays.
Coach, you touched on a little bit ago about your practices this week. If you could maybe talk about practice today, which we kind of talked about in the commercial break, and also the overall health of your team.
Well, I think we're getting, as close to 100% health-wise. I think, Jalen will be here tonight, and he can kind of tell you how he feels. I thought he was probably 85% last week. I think he's much closer than that. Matthew Long hopefully will be able to get some snaps Friday night because he's hopefully completely healed from his surgery. And we've got some bumps and bruises, but everybody's going to have those this time of year. So overall, health-wise, you're banged up a little bit, but I think everybody is. Now, for us, fortunately, after this Friday night, our open week really comes at a good time for us to kind of heal up and give some guys an extra week. But, practice today was very sharp, very crisp, and that's what you want on Wednesday. We had a 2-minute drill, which we normally do 2 minute. We did 2 overtime sessions just to be able to, again, to prep for something that happened 2 weeks ago that, we've got to do a better job with. So, we've put our kids, I think, in about every situation we can put them in. Now, expect something that we haven't seen and then be able to react to it.
Friday night's going to be senior night. It's always just a really touching night because so many great kids and the families will be there for many of these kids. Coach, from your perspective, senior night, how special is it for this team and the seniors especially, of course?
Well, I think senior night every time you have it, and that's why I think Texas high school football is so special because different than a lot of other sports, and I think we've talked about this before, but when football's over for you as a high school player, it's over. And it ends, whatever date that is. And, you may can go play flag or intramural, but if you don't go to play college football, you can't go get dressed in a football uniform and go play the game. So it's unique, but it's also an opportunity for seniors, whether they start, whether they play one snap, whether they play every snap of the game, to be recognized and I don't know if there's a right way to do it. Everybody does senior night a little bit different, but for them and their family to be able to get a picture and to say, okay, this is, in our case, not our last home game, but this is the opportunity for me as a senior to kind of go out and also to represent our community and represent, obviously, Huntsville High School and to represent their family. I mean, you can't, you'll take that picture, and these guys laugh at me when I say it. 20 years from now, they'll show that picture to somebody and brag about how good they were, and they're all better then, just like we were. We were all better back then than we are now. So, but senior night's always special, I think, more for probably moms than anything else.
It's always a fun night, and especially, of course, for the seniors. And, Coach, you talk about a senior and just all of the years going into football, because that's cumulative of not just the high school career, but little league, junior high, and then high school. For me, I'll admit it. My football career ended the second practice in ninth grade when I couldn't lift 50 pounds. So I decided I'm done, man. So I admire these kids that are able to stick with it, not just in high school, but it's a life process for these young men.
Well, and a lot of these guys are from Huntsville. They played Huntsville youth football, some of them as early as third and fourth grade, and a lot of them played together. And then obviously if they all went to Mance Park, and we've talked about this as a staff, a lot of these kids were second, third grade, fourth grade, whatever they were when we got here. So hopefully all they know is the way we've done things, and obviously they've been a part of a lot of success to this point, and now they're having to battle. And I know this, they'll be better human beings, they'll be better adults, they'll be better husbands because of all this. And I hope it's because in a little bit that our program did that. And I think, that is more important to me than a lot of the other things. But I understand, this is also about winning and losing too.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, it gets started around 6:30. We're going to have live video starting to make sure that we cover that senior night festivities, and then we'll go on with pregame on the radio at 7. But what I read, Coach, was if it's a graduating class of 2022 Huntsville High School seniors, if they wear their class T-shirt, I believe they get into the game at no charge.
Yes.
So make sure you wear your T-shirt. If you don't have one and you're 30 years old and a big beard, don't go make a T-shirt that says class of 2022. You still got to pay to get in the game. Sam Moak over here is like, man, I've already started making the shirt. Sorry, Sam, you got to pay for a ticket. But, Coach, we appreciate you. Let's give it up for head coach Rodney Southern.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Coach. We'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll start interviewing some of our players as we continue the Hornet Nation Coaches Show live from True Texas BBQ. We'll be right back, friends.
True Texas BBQ, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas BBQ inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches, weakness, or discomfort in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 selling nerve care company. Nervive contains alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, and B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live your life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com.
Maureen saved big shopping epic daily deals at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. And with her brand new tableware, everyone's welcome at Maureen's table. All of her family, friends, even her neighbor with the pet. Hey, has anyone seen a ferret around here? Found it. Dig into Amazon's epic daily deals. Spend less, smile more.
All right, friends, back at it. True Texas BBQ in the house. I'm still trying to figure out who that whistler is. I
don't know, man, but we hear it every week.
Who's a whistler? Raise your hand if you're the. That's going to be anonymous. It's anonymous whistler. Hey, we have a special guest here tonight as well. Let's give it up for Sam Houston Bearcat punter, Mr. Matt McRobert here in the house. Matt, good to have you tonight, man.
Matt.
And you know what's so important? Now, I wanted to bring this up because Coach talked about community support a while ago. And having a young man like Matt here and his girlfriend, thank y'all for coming out. That's the community support that we're talking. It can be anybody and everybody. So thank y'all for coming out tonight and supporting as well.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're getting rocking and rolling here as we'll talk a little defense first, man. Let's give it up real quick. How about junior defensive lineman Jadaria Smith? Welcome, Jadarius. Jadarius, I'm going to clown on you just for a minute, man. I looked over there. I saw you kind of snoozing off. What was going through your mind a while ago?
I'm tired. I was trying to prepare.
Rest up.
Smart answer, man.
He's rested up.
So do you use that like sometimes you're in class and you're just like this and the teacher's like, wake up, and then you tell them, hey, I was just preparing.
Yes.
Okay, so that's smart man right there, man. It's better when I was in high school, I'd kind of go like this and wake up and I'm kind of getting too much, but there'd be like that puddle on the desk, from drooling. Don't do that, man, because then you can't say I was preparing, all right,
that's
man?
a dead giveaway. Don't do that.
Jadaris, good to have you tonight, man. Last week a little bit tough. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but I just want to start out of the gate. You've only been in Huntsville, a year now, man, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that, man. What's it been like for you? Where'd you come from? And just talk a little bit about that journey getting here to Huntsville, man.
I came from Klein, and my brother wanted me to move in with him, so I did. And I've been having fun since then.
What do you like best about Huntsville, man?
The coaches.
Which coach?
Coach Smith.
All right, cool, man.
Hey, you better mention that one right there.
Awesome. Well, it's good to have you in Huntsville, man. It's a great community, and I've only been here 3 years and just fell in love with it, man. And you're in a lot of great folks here, so we're so happy to have you at Huntsville High School. A junior on the team this year. Last year, did you play varsity at Klein? Or were you on the JV squad?
No, I moved at the beginning of the school year.
So you moved at the beginning. What's it been like, playing here at Huntsville, man? Tell us a little bit about just what you've enjoyed so much so far.
It's so much competition, and I just enjoyed it.
Who motivates you on the team, man? There's got to be somebody there that kind of pushes you a little bit. Who would you say that guy is, one of your teammates that maybe pushes you?
Troy.
Yeah, and he's not here tonight. He's normally here, but he's not here tonight, man. So tell him that, hey, man, I was talking about you and you didn't show up tonight, all right? Let him know that, man.
How does he push you? Are y'all competing individually against each other?
Mm-hmm. And
pride?
And talking a little smack.
Talk a little noise, too?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's what it's all about, competition, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are some of the things you learned? You hadn't been here very long, but what are some of the things you learned in the offseason to help you prepare for this year as a Hornet?
Shooting my hands and my quickness.
Say it again, your hands?
And ball get off.
Okay. Tell them explain a little bit to the folks who are listening out there what that means.
When you're playing D-line, you have to shoot your hands, and you have to have really fast get off so you can disrupt the line.
So your job is to get back in the backfield, disrupt the quarterback, and cause mayhem.
Yes, sir.
What's been, we've only played a few games, and I know right now, of course, just on a little bit of a skid, but what's been the highlight so far for you this season?
When I got MVP from the last game.
All right, there you go. Give it up for that, man.
Yeah, good job. Terrific.
We're talking to Jadaria Smith. It was a tough game last week. It's been tough the past few weeks. What's been going through your mind, man, and how are you looking to improve?
I just have to take day by day and work on the fundamentals on what I'm doing.
What's something that the coaches have told you over the past few weeks maybe that's really stood out?
Play half a man. Don't go in the middle of them. And use a pass rush.
Where are some of the things that you think you can grow as an athlete? You're a junior, so you'll be coming back again next year as a senior. What can you do to help yourself grow into the game?
Get stronger and flexibility.
Stronger and flexibility? Now, how are you going to do that? In the weight room and running?
Yes, sir.
Maybe taking a few swings at Brian, other than a boxing match.
You won't get any flexibility there. I won't be moving.
Jadarius, and you talk about, I was looking at your arms, man. You're probably already benching pretty good, man.
It's getting there.
All right. See, he's a humble man. That's good. That's going to get you far, man. Jadarius, just some of your role models, man. Who have you looked up to? Who's kind of helped guide you, man?
My grandpa and my brother.
Awesome. And to you, I know only been here a year. What does it mean to you to be a Huntsville Hornet, to put on that H?
To see the symbol like Superman. That S is my H.
I like that. I've never heard. Can we?
Like
yeah. Come on, man.
Absolutely, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Darius, what are some of your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing outside of football?
Besides sleeping over there in the corner.
During class.
love watching anime and playing the game.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Do you play any other sports?
I used to do wrestling, but this year I'm working on powerlifting.
Doing powerlifting. Awesome. And you're on the powerlifting squad at school?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man.
Very
All
good.
right. Future plans. Where do you want to be? I know you still got some time, man. Where do you want to be?
Texas A&M.
Uh-oh. We got any Aggies in the house? Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, look, J-Mac, of course, he's got the shirt on, man. Do you and J-Mac talk A&M at all?
Nope.
Mate, see, y'all got some talk. Yeah, you're going to be talking Aggies, man. So I think that's exciting. It's not too far down the road. Keep working hard. You're going to be there, man. Camera's right here on you. 20 years from now, what would you tell yourself, man?
Don't look back in the past. Only work day by day.
All right, I like that, man.
I do too.
Finally, with that camera right there on you, whenever you said Texas A&M, the number shot up to about 400,000 people. It's watching right now. I don't want to put the pressure on you. Who do you want to send some love to tonight, man? A little shout out here from Huntsville, Texas, man.
The coaching staff and my grandparents for keep pushing me and keep making good grades in school.
All right, let's give it up to
Awesome.
Darius, man. Great to have you, man. Anything else? Anything else you'd like to say?
No, sir.
All right, he's done. Let's give it up one final time, Jadarius. Good to have you.
All right.
We'll step aside, take a break. As we continue, we'll have more interviews. Stay with us live from True Texas BBQ here in beautiful Huntsville, Texas. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Hornet Nation Coaches Show.
True Texas BBQ, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas BBQ inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly.
Do you have a pistol that needs a new holster? Well, at Bullets, Blades, and Concealment, they've got the solution. They can custom fit a Kydex holster to most pistols, and they can also sharpen knives for under $10. Check out their selection of semi-automatic shotguns and accessories as well. Bullets, Blades, and Concealment, located in the Timber Hill Shopping Center, right next to Harbor Freight at 111 Interstate 45 South in Huntsville. Go see them at the shop or call 936-439-6727. Bullets, Blades, and Concealment.
All right, friends, welcome back. We are live from True Texas BBQ. I just like saying that. It's a lot of fun. Thank y'all for coming out. I want to remind everybody, every Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m., you heard Coach earlier talk about community support. We would love to see this place completely packed, and we've got a few seats in here, so come out every Wednesday at 6:30, and let's support our Huntsville Hornets. The same way that we do at the football games. You know, we were talking about that. It is amazing on Friday night to see how many people come in there and fill up Bowers. It is just a tremendous sight to see, man.
Oh, it is. You know, you see all the fans and the friends and family of all the players, and you feel the electricity. You know, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's the Friday night lights, man, and this is Huntsville Hornet football. It's the best there is in the state of Texas, and, yeah, you feel it.
And you know what happens, man, when there's a lot of electricity? It starts building up some heat. You got that water right there on that pot on the stove. That water starts boiling, and then it's J-Mac and cheese in the house. What's up, Jalen McClain? Let's give it up. Jalen McClain here tonight. Let's give it up for Jalen McClain, everybody. Well, I don't know where that started, Jalen. Last year we were saying it was just – I remember growing up, my grandma would always cook macaroni and cheese on this gas stove, and I remember that water boiling, and I was like, J-Mac, macaroni and cheese, boil the water, baby, and that's how it started, man. So it's good to have you tonight. You doing all right, Jalen?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
It's always good to have you, man. And we had a lot of fun last year, too, you know, talking with you, Jalen, and the senior running back, man. You've been injured, but you're back now. Just talk a little bit. How have you been able to work through that injury? I know that was tough because you want to be out there. You're a competitor. Just talk a little bit about that and how you've been able to work through that and get back out on the field last week, man.
To be back is fun, and I want to thank the trainers for giving me back and just helping me get to where I am now. Because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be where I am. And I'm just ready to play and get my team back to rolling.
You know, we sit there, and Rob and I, you know, he calls it J-Mac and cheese, and when you bust big runs and things like that. One of the things that excites me when I see you play is you run so hard. When you get that ball, I mean, you take it and you turn downhill, and when you do that, you're going full speed. Talk about that. It looks to me like you like to deliver the hits on the defense before they get a chance to hit you. Talk about that a little bit.
I think the thing with me is just like I look up to people that like they can run the ball hard, and even before the play, I see what I can do and I see who I'm going against. So I really don't think about size. I just want to go through you and get the extra yards I can. And my coach always tell me 3 or 4 yard gain is always good. So just keep on my feet moving, and that was just that.
Jalen, one of my favorite things about broadcasting is, especially I was only here for the first time last year, but now in the second year, I absolutely enjoy watching you guys grow up and mature, and you have taken your maturity to a whole nother level. Not that you weren't before, man, but I've seen your maturity. I've seen your leadership. I want you to talk a little bit about that now that you're a senior. Explain some of that leadership and kind of what you're doing on the team to encourage other guys now, man.
Well, since I've been injured, being a leader has just been very important in getting the team where it need to be now. And just people like Jawan and AJ, and I just look up to them, and I know they're leaders, and just getting the team where it needs to be now is the very important part. And we got a lot of young guys, and we just need to help them be a better person each and every day, and more football players now, just helping them out.
You mentioned Jawan earlier, and of course he was stepping up there for you while you were injured, man. Just talk a little bit about what you saw from him and what you were impressed with and kind of what you were telling him, because we were talking before the show and you said that you were encouraging him and giving him advice. Talk a little bit about that, man.
I think the thing with Jawan is just I see a lot of me in him, and I just know that he's a really good running back. I mean, he's a really good quarterback. He's just a really good athlete overall. And to see me being out, I want to see him shine in the best way he can, and seeing him grow each and every week, it made me proud. And just look at him, it's just I'm proud of him. I really am. That's my brother, and I love him to death. I really do.
I'm sitting here listening to you. You're talking like a leader talks, and leaders and your actions by helping the younger guys. With that being said, what can you do to improve your game?
For the most part, pass blocking, balance, receiving the ball after catch, keeping my foot moving, probably being better at receiver and running my routes better, but more pass blocking because I need to get better at that. And going against bigger guys that's probably bigger than me, so that's probably the most thing.
You're on this skid right now, and we have to talk about it. It's 3 games, but looking to rebound. We have complete confidence and faith in you guys, and want you to know that first and foremost, this community supports you guys, win or lose, man. But what's been going through your mind over the last 3 games, and what are you just saying, hey, we've got to do this and do this to get back to where we were? What's been going through your mind?
I think the leadership role just need to become higher, and we just need to get back to where we know we can be. And I just think we just need to take steps each and every week and get back to the top, because I feel like I love my team, and we got a lot of young guys, we got a lot of seniors, and I just love them that we know that we can get back to where we need to be. And we have a lot of standards for ourselves. And I have a lot of standards for me, and I have a lot of standards for the young guys, just like AJ and even Shallow, even Jadarius. Each and everybody, I have a standard for them, and I know they live up to that standard. And even though we went through the games that we went through, I know we can get back to where we know we can be. So, and that's just the end the point of that.
So, last week, man, it was really your first full game being back. Talk about that and just what was going through your mind then, knowing that, hey, I'm back out here, I'm playing, I may not be 100%, but I'm getting there. What did that do for your confidence as we continue on the season?
To actually be back, it kind of made me emotional, because I was the first game of the season, I kind of got hurt, and that kind of it really did kind of make me feel bad. But to actually be back with the offense, with AJ and leaders like Jawan, Justin, Trey, Matt, Cam, all of them, it was it felt really good. And to actually be out there, it felt like I was running the ball the way I was supposed to. I still didn't really feel 100%, but I was still trying to do the best I can to put us in a good position to win. And, yeah.
Tell us who some of your role models are. I mean, you're a senior now, so I know you've had a lot of guys up in front of you as you came up the program, but who are some of your role models you look up to now?
Cam Myers, and he showed incredible work ethic. Jordan Brown, Jalen Griffin, Tavondre, a lot of people actually. Darian O'Brien, it was a lot of people. And I look up to them, and I just seen maturity, and I wanted to be the leader that I knew they was. And as being a young person and as being a part of the Hornets, I just want to be like them. And once they left, I know my time was going to come, and it just came. And just looking at what they did, I just knew I had to be a higher role model.
Do you ever hear from any other teammates last year, like maybe Q Riles or Bobinos, any of those guys? Have you heard from them?
Yes, sir. I seen Ed and Brian last week.
All right, good deal, man. Well, I think they miss high school. You know, Ed's always chiming in on the broadcast, and that's, you know, hearing your leadership, and it goes back talking about these kids, because Ed will chime in on the broadcast, and he's always cheering you guys on. He's not even here anymore, you know, and that's
Brian
great.
both.
And both of them, yeah.
Yeah, I love them. That's my brothers. I really do.
What does it mean to you to be a Hornet? I know I asked you that last year. I'm going to ask you again this year. You have to answer it exactly how you answered it last year. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do it. What does it mean to you to be a Huntsville Hornet?
To me, it means to be like a great leader. I know that it was a lot of standards set before us, and we just live up to those standards and increase them. Each and every day we want to get better. Each and every day we want something new. And I know when I leave, I know it's younger guys that's going to be coming behind me, and they're going to raise the standard each and every day. And I love that about us, because I know for a fact that we're going to be a great program, and we're going to continue to be a great program because we have incredible coaches, and I believe in them and everything they do.
Speaking of the coaches, you know, through your career so far, maybe what's one of the biggest life lessons that you've learned from your coaches? You don't have to specifically name a coach, but what's one of the biggest life lessons that you've learned from a coach?
I think with anything you go through, it's always going to be a downfall. I mean, you're going to go through something. You just got to keep on moving forward and not be phased. And that's what I learned. Anything that I go through, any obstacle that wants to bring me down, I just keep on driving through, just like my legs, running the ball. Just keep on going through, because I know I'm going to find that hole, and one day it's going to break out and everything's going to come together, and I'm just going to be there. That's
not just a message for young people. We can all receive that today as adults, man. So
never throw in the towel.
Thank you for that, J-Mac.
Yep. J-Mac, outside of football, what are some of your favorite hobbies? What do you enjoy doing?
Honestly, I like watching film, working out, honestly playing my game a lot, watching my cousin play SM, and I look up to him too. So it's just being around football a lot, honestly, and chilling with friends, and that's about it.
Future plans? I already know. You got the shirt on. Is that part of the future plans?
I hope. I really do.
So what is it? Maybe somebody out there don't see it. What is it?
To go play football, and honestly,
where at?
Texas A&M.
Okay,
honestly, I just want to play Texas A&M. And when I get to college, I'm majoring in business and management or kinesiology. So it's one or the other.
Great, man. Camera's right there on you. What do you tell yourself 20 years from now, J-Mac? Like, remember to boil that water real good, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, man.
500,000 people are listening.
What do you tell yourself, though, for real? 20 years from now, you go back, you're searching for your name, it pops up on YouTube. You're like, man, there I am. What would you tell yourself right now?
I'm proud of you. I really am.
All right, man. That's a good one, J-Mac. That's a good one, man. I'm a true believer that every morning when we wake up, and I struggle with this, but I'm telling myself this, I'm a true believer that every day we speak goodness into our lives.
Yes, sir.
Because there's so much that we have to be thankful for, and you see that and you know that. And something that I read a couple of months ago that stuck with me every morning, no matter the circumstance, it's not lying to yourself, but you always tell yourself all is well.
Yes, sir.
Don't matter where you're at, what you're going through. Hey, you guys have lost 3 games. Well, guess what? All is well. We're going to turn it around.
Yes, sir. Of course.
That's the mindset, man, and I think you guys are well on your way. Finally, again, camera there, who do you want to send a shout-out to tonight from Huntsville, Texas, man?
Honestly, tonight I want to send a shout-out to my coaches and the trainers for helping me be the person I am today. If I didn't have y'all, I wouldn't be me. So I really do appreciate y'all, and I love y'all.
Awesome. Let's give it up. Jalen McClain, thank you, man, for being here tonight. And excited for you and everyone that we always get to chat with. We'll step aside. We'll take a break as we wrap it up. Coming back, we'll hear from Mr. Brian Carroll in the house, and he's brought some merchandise as well. I believe, Brian, I don't want to speak ahead of myself. He's winking at me, so that is yes, the merchandise is in the house. So stay with us. We'll be right back here from the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Stay with us, friends.
True Texas BBQ, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas BBQ inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly.
What is the Good Shepherd Mission doing in Huntsville with the donations and money you so generously give? The Good Shepherd Mission is helping over 600 local families with groceries and feeding over 2,000 hot meals each month. The Good Shepherd Mission is sleeping folks to the max almost every night. When you donate or contribute to the Good Shepherd Mission, your money really does stay in Huntsville to help local residents. This nonprofit notice is brought to you by First National Bank of Huntsville, Huntsville's only locally owned community bank.
From the Huntsville Church of Christ, I'm Jeff Dunn with today's Food for Thought. An unnamed man in Xinhua, China was hospitalized after he inserted a 20-centimeter long eel into his anus on July 20th to ease his constipation. This folk remedy backfired on him, however, when the eel slithered up into his colon and bit through it, entering his abdomen. Shockingly, the eel was still alive when it was surgically removed. The surgeon said the man could have died from bacteria in the large intestine migrating into the abdominal cavity. Many times the things we use in our lives are the same. We use things to bring us relief that end up hurting us even worse. Isn't it time you sought true healing through Jesus? At Huntsville Church of Christ, we want to be a place to believe, to be loved, and to belong. Come see us. You belong at HCOC.
All right, friends, welcome back. I don't know if y'all heard that commercial, but I hope none of y'all have tried that, by the way. So welcome back to the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Luckily, nobody heard that commercial. It's a good commercial, actually. Hey, welcome back. Good to be here tonight from True Texas BBQ. Before we talk to Brian, I always want to take this opportunity to recognize some other guests, our sponsors that are here tonight. As always, Miss Stephanie Pitts of Advantage Specialties. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Stephanie.
And, of course, our wonderful sponsor as well, Mr. Sam Moak, Moak Attorneys at Law. Thank you, Sam, for all that you do, man. I appreciate you being here tonight as well. Again, it just goes back to the community support, friends, and we'd love for you to come out, be a part of this show every Wednesday night at 6:30. You can sign up to win our limited edition footballs that we'll be giving away at the last show of the season. We've got a lot of fun, having a lot of fun, and doing a lot of great things here. But most importantly, come out, support these kids, because we know that every single person that comes to this show helps build them up, and not only to this show, but also out there to the football field. Speaking of which, Mr. Brian Carroll in the house from the Hornet Quarterback Club. What up, Big Carroll in the house?
Thank you for having me out this evening.
One day we're going to give you like the official, and now coming from the back of the, I'm not going to
ring the bell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's get ready to run. We're not going to do that, Brian. Good to have you, man. How's everything going tonight?
Well, it's going good. Besides having a little ragweed kind of eating at my throat here, but I'm doing all right.
I heard you earlier, and I thought it was from that Battle of the Piney Woods game. I thought you may have lost your voice at that game, man.
I about had a Garrett Rose moment at that game, so let me tell you what.
What do you got tonight, man? Some merchandise,
Sure.
I believe, man.
Let's jump straight into this.
Let's take a look at it.
This is the most important thing that you can get this season. This is your official Huntsville Quarterback Club with the Huntsville football logo right there. These are polos, and these are priced to sell. These polos are going to sell for $20. This is a really good shirt at a really good price. I have it in black, and then I also have it in the Hornet green, a little bit different green than y'all, but we have these available, and these are available at the concession stands. We will have them for sale also. We will be selling at the game up on top of the concourse Friday night. We'll have a table set up there, and of course our concession stands is always open. And then we also have new apparel, on-field apparel like the coaches wear. All right, these
so
are
describing this because we do have radio that's not seeing this also. So describe that a little bit there for radio audience.
So this is a black dry fit long sleeve T-shirt, and it says in green with green and white lettering. It says Huntsville football. And it's a really sharp.
It's good looking.
Sharp print there. These, I don't know how many of these shirts my son has, but he bought one last night. So
those are pretty slick, man.
Yeah, they are.
And you've got a baseball cap over there too, man. I have one of those, Brian. I got from you. I love that thing.
All right, these are my favorites. Again, my son bought another one last night. I think that's like his third one. If they get sweated on or sun beats them down and stuff, I've had two myself. I love this hat. I'm going to make sure that this is the black hat with the green with the H with the white trim on it. It is a Nike brand fitted hat. It's not a fitted hat, but it's the dry fit type of material in there to where it wicks away water and so forth.
Brian, I'm going to tell you, if I was listening on the radio right now, I would just be in heaven the way you're describing this. So that's what we're talking. Seriously, I'm telling you, man, this is like making me want to buy 20 of these right now.
All right. And so, of course, then again, we still have some of our other merchandise that we've had before. We have some ladies' Nike shirts that's
cool.
available. These are in a ladies' cut. And then,
Brian, I don't want to cut you off, but that's one of the few that I've seen with the Buzzy logo on it.
Yes,
right under Huntsville
yes.
Hornets. That's
Sure
pretty
is.
cool. Yeah,
It is.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So that is, it says Huntsville football with the Buzzy underneath it there and the Nike emblem on the front. And then we have some cotton T-shirts.
And I've got one of those. Those are comfortable.
Yes, they are. This is a really good go-to T-shirt right here with the Huntsville football with Buzzy on it and the football on there.
Sweet.
So, and this is in the gray for those of you on the radio. So
awesome.
But
well, Brian, senior night getting started, and thank you for sharing all that with us. And that'll be at the concession stands. Come out and support the Hornet Quarterback Club. That is a big way that you can give back. Brian, senior night, talk a little bit about just kind of the festivities. I believe things are getting underway at 6:30, if I'm not mistaken, per the time chart that I saw.
yes, sir. So we'll start at 6:30. They'll start with the band members, the GGs. They'll work their way down through the trainers. I guess I don't know about flag guys, but then the football team will be last. But it is a special night. I can remember doing it myself with my parents, and still got the pictures floating around and stuff. So it is a special night, something that you always remember.
And then the kickoff still at 7:30.
Kickoff still at 7:30. Senior night is scheduled to end by 7:10.
Perfect. So come out, come early, support the Hornets. Again, we've been talking community all night. That's what it's about. So come out, support them, get there early, cheer loud, stay a little bit late, and let's have some fun and cheer our kiddos onto a victory. We're believing in that, and we believe in these kids and what they do. So, Brian, any final comments before we let you go, man?
Sure, thank you. The Booster Club will be providing all the senior football moms with a flower every year, as we like to do to show them a little love. So that's going to be courtesy for the senior football players' moms. And then also coming up in a couple of weeks for the senior moms and players, they will be having portraits made at the high school field. And so we'll be getting the information out to the senior players about that coming up.
Speaking of senior moms, I know Brian had something to add, but again, as I said earlier, don't pretend that you're a student and wear that 2022 shirt. You have to legitimately be a student and have it to get in for free. I'm going to say the same thing. Don't pretend to be a mom. So all you men out there that are going to put on wigs and say that that's your son, that ain't going to fly. You will not get a flower. Is that right, Brian?
That it would be correct.
All right.
Hey, you know what? If you're listening or watching out there, please come help support the Quarterback Club. It is such a wonderful organization. You can donate your time, just 10 or 15 minutes at a game, to help maybe run a concession stand. Help support these Hornets at all different levels. They need you.
Hey, awesome. we made 150 sandwiches last week to feed the football team on Saturday. Smoked barbecue sandwiches. So it was nobody left hungry.
All right, man. Well, Brian, we appreciate you, all that the Hornet Quarterback Club does. Again, 6:30 is when things get underway with senior night. Brian and I will have that live video, and then we will transition to radio with pregame. Once those festivities stop, we'll have pregame and then kickoff at 7:30. And catch the action on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network at 1017 KSAM, and also that live video at KSAM1017.com. Once again, friends, let's give it up for everybody here tonight, especially our kids. Thank y'all for being here. Coach Del Real in the house. I just like saying your name, Coach, man. It's Coach Del Real in the house, and his wife is here tonight, so good to see you, man. Appreciate you. And everyone else that was here tonight, as always, a lot of fun. And a big thank you again to our good friends right here at True Texas BBQ. Thank you for that food. It was good tonight. Bridget, I love you. I know you got food waiting, but I did have a turkey sandwich. So again, come out, 7:30 kickoff, 7 o'clock pregame, 6:30 is when the senior night festivities get underway. It is Huntsville trying to take care of business versus Lamar Consolidated. The Mustangs will be out there, will be loud. Brian, always a lot of fun. Brian, appreciate both of the Brians in the house tonight. And again, all of our guests. Well, as we end every show, I want to remind you tonight that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, friends. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there tonight needs you. A big thank you to Carlos Zimmerman back at KSAM Studios for producing this one tonight. And as always, Coach Southern and his accessibility. On the count of three, as we do every week, give them a big sting 'em. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sting 'em, Hornets! Until then, good night and God bless from Huntsville, Texas.
True Texas BBQ, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas BBQ inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly.
Where's the cars? Dale's Auto